Y'all, this video has been a long time in the making. We officially hit 100K, so it's time for SnarkyJay's 100K Q&A. Hi y'all, SnarkyJay Cosplay here. After 2.5 years on YouTube, we finally hit 100K on this channel, which I'm super grateful for. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to do a 100K Q&A. Some of these questions are from people on Instagram, some of them are from folks in the comments section on YouTube. This is gonna be kind of a long one because I wanted to get through as many of these as possible. So with that being said, let's get started. As a kid growing up, what was your dream? How does it compare to what you're doing now? When I was a kid, I thought I was going to be a number of different things. At one point, I thought I was going to be a veterinarian. At another point, I thought I was going to be an actress. And then at one point, I was watching way too much America's Next Top Model, and I thought that's what I was going to do, but I stayed short and I love eating. It doesn't compare at all to what I do now, but I genuinely love my job. Why choose to call out your haters? I understand they're terrible. However, why acknowledge them? To be honest, I really just ignore them, but the very obnoxious or insane ones are fun to make content out of. It's making lemonade out of lemons. Least favorite thing about YouTube? Probably how absolutely hateful people are for absolutely nonsensical reasons. That is exhausting. How many cosplays have you done? Any you regret? I honestly don't know how many I've done. It's probably upwards of 100 at this point. I think one of the only ones I really regret was Emma Frost. I hate low-waisted pants, and that was genuinely traumatizing. If you could have starred in one of the movies released in the last 5 years, which one would it be? Easy answer, I would have wanted to be Catwoman in 2022's The Batman. You're so talented. Thank you. In your experience, what was your most difficult cosplay you've created? I have a video on it. It's my Optimus Prime build. That was absolutely insane. I poured over 250 hours of work into it. I'm still really proud of how it turned out, but it was absolutely exhausting, and I don't see myself doing anything that complicated for a very long time. What's the one thing you want your followers/fans to fully understand about you most of all? I am genuinely a geek. I get that a lot of people want to try and call me a grifter or assume that I'm doing this for the attention of nerdy males. I love my Star Wars, my Marvel, my DC. All my nonsense is because it genuinely means something to me. I just happen to have the ability to talk about it. This is genuinely what I'm passionate about. What was the best celebrity interaction you had, and what was the worst interaction? The best definitely goes to Hayden Christensen. I talk all about that in this video. However, to give you the short run of it, he essentially looked at me in a way that no man had ever looked at me. It was absolutely precious. He came out behind the COVID protection glass to hold my hand. He was so welcoming and so sweet. My worst celebrity interaction, I don't want to name the guy, but he was a voice actor in Final Fantasy. I was very excited to meet him. I was cosplaying the character that he voiced, and I had a piece of artwork that I had made for him. He did not acknowledge the cosplay, didn't acknowledge the art, basically just said, "Nice to meet you," and waited for me to walk away. When it comes to dating, what is your ideal guy? That's it. What type of actress do you want to be? Movie/TV, drama/comedy, sci-fi, horror? Talent? I don't know that I will ever be an actress. I would love to be an actress. That would be great. But I think I definitely want to take on dramatic stuff or maybe comedy. Honestly, I would try being an actress in almost any genre, given the opportunity. How long does it take for you to come up with your cosplay costumes on average? To be honest, there are some ideas that take a whole lot of planning. I'm currently working on War from Darksiders, and that took a lot of thought. I think it kind of took me a couple of days to come up with the concept and start sourcing things for it, but there are some ideas that just happen in the shower and work themselves out very quickly, like my Barbie cowgirl thing. It took me a bit to make it, but the idea and how I was going to execute it kind of just hit me. What advice would you have getting started into cosplay? It's honestly advice I would give to anybody starting anything. You have to be completely obsessed with whatever you're doing. Cosplay is inherently difficult in terms of crafting or putting things together or even sourcing things and spending money on things, but most of the stuff you're gonna wear is super uncomfortable, and if you're not 100% in love with or obsessed with the character/property that you're dressing up as, it's not gonna be worth it for you. If you were an animal, what animal would you be? Raccoon. Easy. They're like cats with hands, they look like little bandits, they love garbage. I feel that. Former band kid, what did you play? There's me on tenor saxophone. I played tenor sax from middle school all the way through the end of high school, and by the time I graduated, my graduation day was literally the last time I ever touched the saxophone, and I don't plan on ever playing it again. My question, are you a collector of statues, comics, figures, etc.? Yes, I collect a bunch of stuff. Back there is my nerd shelf. I also have a glass shelf in my craft/Twitch streaming room. A lot of you guys have noticed that I have a bunch of figures behind me. I have a lot of figures that have been gifted to me over the years, so all of those collectibles mean the world to me. But yes, I collect way too much stuff. What would you say is your favorite animated movie and TV show of all time? If I had to pick a favorite animated TV show, I'd probably say the old Teen Titans from the early 2000s, probably for nostalgia purposes, but I really loved that show. And favorite animated movie is probably Cars. Don't at me for that. Why did you start your YouTube channel in the first place? To be 100% honest, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube, but my dad loves YouTube. And when the Book of Boba Fett came out, I think he was so sick of hearing me rant about it to him that he encouraged me to put it on YouTube and see if anybody would watch it. And people did, and so that kind of just, I felt like the YouTube bug bit me and I had to keep doing this. Have you ever considered cosplaying as Meg from Hercules? You already low-key sound a bit like her. I get that all the time, and yes, I have cosplayed Meg from Hercules. These two questions are kind of along the same lines, so I'm gonna answer them both together. Will you be at DragonCon 2024? And would you ever come to Utah's Fan X? I love attending conventions, but I can't justify travel and lodging to go screw around at conventions unless the convention books me. So if you have a specific event that you want to see me at, email your local organizers. I work hard and I would love to be booked, but other than that, I don't go to anything out of state for that reason. What happened with that Crow fan film? Creative differences, basically. I chose to leave the project. I have nothing to do with it anymore. I wish them nothing but the best. What popular movie do you think is overrated, and what unpopular/bad movie do you think is underrated? Overrated, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I will not elaborate. And underrated, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Is there a cosplay you have always wanted to do but haven't gotten around to? I've always wanted to do a Spartan from Halo, namely Agent Tex from Red vs. Blue, but it seems so incredibly difficult to get the sizing right. I don't think I want to sand all of that 3D printed, but I also don't think I could get that clean finish in foam. So I've always wanted to do that, but I don't see myself ever getting to. Did you enjoy the open bar? So for those of y'all that didn't see, I was a guest on Open Bar with the Critical Drinker, Mahler, and the rest of the crew. It was number 101. I'm gonna go ahead and link that. That was so much fun. It was kind of nerve-wracking because I'd never done anything like that, especially when I saw at one point that there were 18,000 people watching. I've never dealt with that. But it was a lot of fun, and I really hope to get to do more stuff like that again. Is there a cosplay that people suggest/request that you refuse to do? There's two. One of them is Princess Leia's slave outfit. I tried my own version of it a while ago. It didn't look the way I wanted it to, and honestly, I don't think I'm confident enough to wear that. It looks terrifying. And the other one that I get requested all the time, since people are always telling me that I remind them of Aubrey Plaza, everybody wants me to cosplay April Ludgate from Parks and Rec, and I refuse because I don't think we look that much alike, and I'm my own person and I don't exist to be your April fantasy. Is your father in the film industry? You said he set you up to make videos and your setup looks pro. My dad has been producing commercials in our area for like 20-something years, so yes, that's where I get all my good production value from. What music are you into? For the most part, I listen to rock and alternative, but I also have a really unfortunate soft spot for country music. I don't know why, but I love country music. If you could go back and start again, would you do anything differently with your channel? I think my strong suit has always been commentary, but I kind of held back on doing commentary for a very long time because I was afraid of the repercussions, and I also wasn't sure that anybody would want to hear that from me. So I think I took way too long to hit my stride. I definitely would have started off with commentary and done way less movie reviews, which is kind of all my channel was at the beginning. Would you play in any major role on the silver screen? Yes, any major role, pretty much, but if I got to play Catwoman in anything, I'd be so happy. Do you work out? Yes, I do. I work out pretty much every day. For 2 years, I was doing 20 miles a day on a stationary bike, and I started to get bored of that because it also wasn't a very complete workout. So now every day I do an hour of dance cardio where I do squats and lunges and jumps and all kinds of stuff. And it's exhausting, but I really like what it's done for me and my physique. I hate gyms. They smell gross and I'm a germaphobe, so I just refuse to go to them. What is your favorite TV show of all time? I'll give you two. My favorite comedic TV show of all time is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I feel like that shouldn't surprise anybody. My favorite dramatic TV show of all time? Mad Men, for sure. And not just because I think John Hamm's delicious, it's genuinely just a really good show. How did you discover The Crow? When I was 11 years old, I was starting to get into Marvel and superheroes and all that shit. And my mom and I took a trip to Best Buy back when they were selling DVDs, and in that $5 bargain bin, we started digging around for stuff to watch because she's always liked showing me older movies. And she picked up The Crow and she was like, oh my God, you know what? You're into superhero stuff, you would dig this. And so I was 11 years old when I watched The Crow for the first time because my mom showed it to me. Changed my life. Might have been too young to watch it, but I regret nothing. Which comment section is the most toxic between Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter? Definitely YouTube, even though people get really bold on Twitter, and I have gotten some disgusting DMs and comments on Instagram. I feel like YouTube is just inherently vile sometimes. If you had to change your name from SnarkyJay to something else, what would it be? Jay Snarky. To be honest, SnarkyJay was just a placeholder. One of my friends had encouraged me to make an account for my cosplay, and so I did it one morning in like 2016 or 2017 when I was at a Take Your Child to Work day with my mom. And I don't know, it just always stuck. I've always thought it was catchy. I've always thought it represented me pretty well, so I can't imagine being called anything else. Did you ever think you would make it this far? No, not on Instagram, not on YouTube, not in anything. And I feel like that sounds terrible because these days in hustler culture, we have to constantly say that we're betting on ourselves. But I never thought that I would have as many people give a shit about anything that I have to say as I actually do. And I'm constantly amazed by it, and I'm so grateful that I'm kind of living the existence that I'm living. Again, I never thought I would be here, so for me, it's humbling and really exciting. What is your favorite prop out of all your cosplays? That is a tough question because I've built a lot. Hold on. I made this one a few years ago, and I doubt most people are gonna know what this is, but this is the Chaos Eater from Darksiders, and it is the Horseman of the Apocalypse War. It's his sword, and it's got like all these demon faces on it. I can't tell if the camera's picking it up, but all of these I did by hand out of EVA foam, and I painted it by hand, and like the hilt is fake leather and stuff that I weathered myself, and the inside is wood and cardboard, and it is genuinely my favorite prop I've ever made. What is your favorite holiday? Halloween, for sure. What hero triggered your imagination the most as a child, and what hero triggered you to cosplay? To be honest, those are one and the same. I always used to see Wonder Woman in the older Justice League cartoons when I was a kid, and I just thought she was so pretty every time I saw her on everything with her patriotic shorts and her big legs and her dark hair. I always thought she was fabulous. And when I was a teenager starting out with cosplay, I didn't identify with any of the women that I saw on the big screen because like the main female superhero at that time was Black Widow, and she was very sexy and seductive with her black leather, and I didn't feel like that was me at all. And when I saw Wonder Woman in 2017 getting thrown around like one of the guys and being so naive and pretty and wholesome, I fell in love with her, and she inspired me to basically do a complete 180 on how I cosplayed and how I viewed myself. And for that, I'm always going to be grateful. You have to remove one Batman character from canon. Who is it and why? Talia al Ghul. I don't care how many times I'm told on the internet that they retconned what Grant Morrison did. That's very Bill Cosby of her. I still think she's trash. I can't stand her. Goodbye. What's your Myers-Briggs? For those that don't know, Myers-Briggs is a personality test. You should take it, actually. It's pretty fun. My type is INTJ, otherwise known as the Architect. It's apparently not very common in women, but that's my personality type. What's your personal most used movie quote, aside from "it can't rain all the time"? Another movie quote I'm always saying, it's actually from The Crow. Shit on me. Shit on me! I say that all the time, but I also frequently quote Forrest Gump.
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
That's another one I repeat all the time. Wow, I have been answering questions for a minute. A lot of those were a lot of fun. Thank you so much for sending them in. I didn't get to all of them because some of them were very personal questions about me and my romantic life. Some of them were marriage proposals and some of them were downright weird. But I'm super grateful for everybody that submitted questions. Thank you so much for subbing, guys. 100K is absolutely crazy. I'm so excited to see where this channel goes next, and I'm so excited for you guys to come on my next couple of journeys with me as we keep going with this channel. And that's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more SnarkyJay. Tune in on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST. You can also check out my Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoots and content. I will add links to all of those in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on my 100K Q&A in the comments below.